Always be right here.
Welcome back to the Mid-Morning Show with myself, Nafeesa Dangor, of course, filling in for Sister Miriam Mia today. Definitely an inspirational, but should we say educational morning as well. We're going to be speaking this morning to a lady by the name of Nadene Grabham, and she's the operations director of Door of Hope. It's a children's mission where the organization has looked at the spike in child abandonment, and she's going to be talking to us about the importance of boxes. A very good morning to you, and thank you so much for joining us on the show with myself, Nafeesa Dangor.
Good morning. Thank you so much for this wonderful opportunity. Can you hear me well?
Yes, I can, very clear.
Okay,
It's so nice to be chatting to you. I think about something very pertinent, which needs to be brought to the fore, because this is a particular subject that I think many people are not aware of, the type of dire situation that we're in as far as it's concerned. So I'm so glad that you're joining us this morning and giving us some insight into it. Talk to us a little bit about yourself and how you got involved with this.
Oh, that's quite an interesting story. I worked in quite a large bank for about 20 years. I was a foreign exchange trader, and we had a spring function where we collected money for an orphanage in the south of Johannesburg. And I just went to go visit there to see what it was all about. And I think that's where the seed was planted. They had a section where they took in abandoned babies. And after that first visit, it took me about 2 years to resign from the corporate world. But that's 11 years ago now. So I've been at Door of Hope for 11 years.
Sure. Talk to us about the Door of Hope and what sort of, should we say, inspiration it's giving to those out there. Because, I mean, if you look at the situation, it's actually very dire and actually heart-wrenching to see that people, are abandoning these children, these babies, in bins and all sorts of places. What was it that you've decided to do with these boxes? Because we were speaking about the importance of the baby boxes and what it serves. But let's talk about Door of Hope before we even go there.
So Door of Hope was established in July 1999. We were the first organization to install the modern day baby box. Because baby savers actually goes back to about the 15th, 16th century, where Catholic churches had what they called foundling wheels, where moms could leave their babies that they were unable to care for. So around the 1999 period, there was quite a few babies being found abandoned in Johannesburg and Hillbrow and the surrounding areas. So the Berea Baptist Church, the pastor of the Berea Baptist Church, came up with this idea of making a metal box and building it in the church wall. And since we started in 1999, our overall intake is close to 1,800 babies. So not necessarily just through the baby box, but we also get babies from hospitals and the police, and mommies come ring our doorbell. So yes, 1,800, and I think 240 have come through our baby box.
Nadene, this at least gives people some form of hope and a support structure, because if you look at it before that, prior to you starting the Door of Hope, there was no place for these kids to go. So inevitably, they either pass on from being in the street or, of course, live that abandoned life of a twilight child sitting on the street all the time, which is, I think, a very scary reality which we're facing at the moment.
Yes, I think I wonder if we had to, be able to get statistics of children abandoned just over time. The last statistics that was done, informal statistics, was in 2010, where it was it states that around 3,500 babies are abandoned every year, and for every 3 babies found abandoned, only one is found alive. So 2 are found dead. And since Door of Hope started, it's not. There's about 43 baby we call them now baby savers all over South Africa, managed by different organizations. But it's also actually reached other countries in the world, where they also have baby savers or baby boxes. And I think this is, sadly, in South Africa, they are technically illegal, the baby savers, because any type of abandonment, child abandonment, is illegal in South Africa. So even safe abandonment. And it's quite a nice time to actually chat on the show, because we formed a coalition of baby savers in South Africa. And we actually presenting to Parliament, hopefully sometime in August, to legalize baby savers.
I so agree with you there, because I mean, it needs to, and if you look at the Children's Amendment Act, it's not included in there, which
No.
I think is imperative. And government needs to look at the situation to say, how do we actually help these babies out there and give them a second chance at life? Because as you're saying, I mean, only 1 out of 3 are actually surviving,
Yes.
which is scary.
Yes.
It's a scary
Yes.
thought to think. I mean, that's also a little life out there. And I think we need to start looking at the value of that life. So talk to us about, how do these boxes work, and where would a person find them, or are they just randomly placed?
It's basically, there is no sort of advertising of baby savers. So I think it's word of mouth, or people maybe following Door of Hope's Facebook page and then get the idea of a baby saver and then want to start up their own organization of baby savers. So it could either be an independent baby saver, or it can be attached to a child and youth care center. So where the babies come through the baby saver and they stay in the care of the children's home until they get adopted. So our coalition started in February, where we've actually now put together a Facebook page of the locations of the baby savers in South Africa. We're also building a website that's easily accessible for anybody that needs to know where a baby saver is. But I think up until that, all of that is up and running, anybody is welcome to contact us if they would be interested in starting a baby saver. 43 sounds like a lot. It's not. There are still so many babies found abandoned all over South Africa. And just since lockdown started last year, we're sitting close to 150 babies already that have been found abandoned in unsafe places in less than a year and a half. And that is a concerning figure. And especially now with lockdown, so many people are losing their jobs or have lost their jobs. They're losing their income. And are we going to see an increase in child abandonment? And if so, we need to stand together to try and go do as much as possible to stop babies from being abandoned, because like you said, every child has the right to life, and abandonment takes away that right.
That's so true, but it also brings to light the scary part about the fact that because these children are being abandoned, our child trafficking issue is only going to rise. We're only going to go on the increase as far as that is concerned, which I think for us as individuals is very concerning. Because what sort of system are they going into? What sort of life structure are they going into? So I think this is something that as you say, you're bringing to light to government, making them understand. I mean, as we know, that the rise of trafficking, human trafficking, is increasing every single day without fail. And if these children are readily available, it's just going to make it a whole lot worse. And what sort of lives are they going to live, even if they're alive? I mean, there's no quality there. Absolutely not.
No, look, I think child trafficking, actually just watched a video this morning. It's on the Courage Child Protection page. It's and they also have their video on YouTube, actually explaining the sad state of affairs that our country is in when it comes to child protection. We are one of the highest numbers of child trafficking. We are one of the highest numbers of child abuse, one of the highest number of child abandonment. And it just feels like, that's why I'm really hoping that this Children's Amendment Bill, when it does get finalized, that our Department of Social Development would really, really focus on these the struggles that our children face. I mean, after all, these children are the future of this country. If we cannot care for them now already, Where does South Africa's future, what is that going to look like? And there are so many unregistered places of safety in South Africa, and I can understand why maybe they're unregistered, because it might be difficult to register as a place of safety if you're in a poorer area. But at the same time, it also raises concerns for these unregistered places of safety. What happens to those children? There has to be policies and procedures in place to protect those children. And we're really lacking in that area as a country.
Most definitely, I agree with you. And I think it's about bringing light to this and creating the awareness. But from your side, from Doors of Hope, what sort of awareness and education have you been creating? And of course, as you said, you want to take it to government level. But I think it's also important for us to raise this to the public and the communities out there to say the situation is getting really dire. And how is it that they can help to actually alleviate these type of things? Are there orphanages that you connect with to be able to make it available for people? Because I mean, I don't know if you're just taking in the kids yourself, or are you also just working with other orphanages to be able to give them the spaces and places that they can be safe?
Yeah, I think we're in quite a good space at the moment where we network with a lot of organizations, and it's not just orphanages. I think where it really starts, and again, there's not enough of these in South Africa, is crisis pregnancy centers. And this is where a mommy or any parent who is pregnant or has a newborn that has no support from friends, no support from family, no support from communities, they can be in touch with the Crisis Pregnancy Center. The Crisis Pregnancy Center would walk with that mom and explain to her and try and help her, because family preservation is most probably the most important thing. That comes first, and then adoption should come second. So these crisis pregnancy centers are really important, and we as a country, the community, should create awareness about crisis pregnancy centers, and we need more crisis pregnancy centers. So it's really great that there's such a huge network of child and youth care centers, crisis pregnancy centers, baby savers all over South Africa. And Door of Hope was also blessed to present to Parliament with the Children's Amendment Bill in May. And now we're just hoping that, if the presenters were listened to, and that it was taken in, and that the members of Parliament actually realizes that we're really lacking in this area when it comes to child protection. We have to stand together as one.
Sure. We're going to go for a quick break. We'll be back with you in a minute.
Perfect.
Port Elizabeth area is at a shocking 11%. 1 July is day zero for the Kucha Dam, resulting in dry taps for hundreds of families in the surrounding areas of Port Elizabeth.
Huh?
Good.
Yeah, we'll get there to that question. The lighting
Support
is
our
very
water
bad.
drive in the
It's dark.
region of South
I look
Africa.
dark.
Donate your lilla towards the erecting of JoJo tanks in impoverished areas and for the vehicles to deliver water in areas of need. Donate to the Al-Fida Foundation. Visit our website at www.alfida.co.za or contact us at 041 484 1288.
Looking to get your kick? Kiki's have now reopened on 235 Matthews Maiwa Road in Durban. Head on over for the Taste with Kick. We offer something scrumptious for everyone in the family. Wraps, chicken tikka, burgers, tender grills, mocktails, milkshakes, and so much more. Corporate and events catering available. Visit our social media pages for more info or call 031 209 0119. Kiki's, the Taste with Kick.
This year, share your Karabani with some of the world's neediest communities. The Al-Imdad Foundation's Canned Karabani program allows you to provide a ready-to-eat, high-protein product to Syrian, Palestinian, and Rohingya refugees. For just 2,100 Rand, the Al-Imdad Foundation will slaughter, can, and distribute your Karabani to some of the world's neediest refugee communities. Share your Karabani today. Donate online at alimdad.com or call 0861 786 243 for more information.
These are the days of Eid. Make takbir wherever you are. These are the days of Eid. Allah.
Add a sprinkling of sparkles to your magical parties and special occasions with colorful party supplies and awesome helium balloons. Celebrate Eid al-Adha in style with our stunning range of decorations, disposable tableware, neat bags and tags, Ziploc and self-sealing bags, refuse bags, polystyrene and foil trays, pallet wrap, Econo wraps, buff and clear tape. Eid al-Adha essentials galore. Be sparkled by our wide range of baking ingredients, baking tools and bakeware. Stunning edible cake decor for Eid al-Adha. Sprinkles and Sparkles Party Shop. You'll want it all. Open Monday to Sunday. Visit us at 431 Inanda Road, Parlock, Durban, South Africa. Call 031 577 0604. Follow us on Instagram at Sprink and Spark and Facebook at Sprinkles and Sparkles.
Sustain, sacrifice, share. This Eid al-Adha, donate your Qurbani through Africa Muslims Agency. We ensure that your Udhiyah Qurbani not only feeds the poor, but creates sustainable incomes for local farmers, brings the practice of sacrifice to the villages, and shares the spirit of Eid. Sponsor in South Africa for 2,400 Rand. Africa, 1,500 Rand. Palestine, 6,150 Rand. Syria, 4,000 Rand. Donate online at africamuslimsagency.co.za or call 011-834-8685. Africa Muslims Agency, inspiring the spirit of giving.
Listen to something fresh. Listen to Salam Media.
Welcome back, and you are watching Mid Morning Talk Show with myself, Nafeesa Dangor, filling in for Sister Miriam Mia. And we're in conversation with Nadene Grabham about, abandoned children and what it does to society on the whole. And as we were speaking before we left, the importance of it. But let's go into the importance of the baby boxes. I don't think our listeners out there and our viewers understand actually how it works and what it does for people. So let's go through that particular process. Let's educate them about it and see how it is, where they in turn can then also reach out to you to be able to make your life, should we say, a whole lot easier.
Yes, so baby box or baby saver is basically a metal box that's built into the wall. It has a door on the side of the road and a door on the side of the property. It either has a sensor pad or a laser beam similar to what you would have in your house for your house alarm. So when a mommy places her baby in the baby saver, the alarm goes off in the baby house, and we are alerted that a baby has been placed in the baby saver. We will then immediately go and fetch the baby. We'll do a medical check, bath the baby, feed the baby, and as soon as possible get our pediatrician to come do a proper check. We do this, send the information to our statutory social workers, who would then open a file in children's court, and the necessary advertising being done. And then once all of the legal side of things are done, that baby then becomes adoptable.
Wow. So I think that's a phenomenal way of working with it, because as we said, it's about giving them that second chance at life. And this is exactly what you're doing. How far have you gotten as far as government is concerned with regard to this issue? What sort of awareness have you created there? And what is it that they intend helping you out with to be able to, should we say, make the process more legal, so that it's easier for people to deal with it? We're not saying that we are encouraging abandonment, but we are being able to deal with it in the correct manner, where we're not losing lives, but saving them instead.
Yes, so we are, as I mentioned, we've done national presentations to Parliament with regards to the Children's Amendment Bill, where I did, in part of my presentation, I spoke about baby savers. Then we formed the coalition of baby savers in South Africa. We are, one of our members is an attorney. She actually did her PhD on her thesis on child abandonment. So she's an attorney, and we are working together. We almost completed the legal draft to present to Parliament in August to bring in the law to legalize baby savers. And I think the next step would be, we obviously, with not anybody can just open a baby saver. There has to be certain rules and regulations specifically to avoid child trafficking. So we've documented all of that, all the requirements for a organization to start a baby saver, the requirements of what a baby saver should look like, and we will, if all goes well, we'll be presenting that in August to members of Parliament, and then we'll take it from there. So it would really help us if the listeners and your followers could just keep us in your prayers. This is such an important step for children of South Africa and for South Africa as a country. Namibia has their baby savers are legal. There is no criminal. A mother cannot face arrest if she puts her baby in a baby saver in Namibia. And South Africa, nothing is happening here. So we're really hoping that we'll be going in the right direction.
Well, we're hoping that's going to happen real soon. But talk to us, where exactly would a person locate these baby savers? Are they in particular spaces?
Jen, it all works differently. So the Door of Hope Baby Saver is at the Berea Baptist Church, but our baby home is right behind the church. So we have direct access to the baby saver. Another organization has their baby saver at a crisis pregnancy center, and quite a few of them have their baby savers at the baby home or orphanage that they run. Then you have the independent ones, which is either located at a church. So generally, if it's an independent baby saver, you have to have an agreement with a child protection organization, ambulance or medical services for when a baby does, because there's nobody on the property.
Right.
You have to have the armed response, because the alarm will trigger at the armed response company. But yeah, they're not just standing like portable toilets, to give you that picture, on the side of the road. They are set in different places, so it's really pretty easy if you follow the rules and regulations to start a baby saver. And the areas where we obviously desperately need them is in the townships and rural areas, because I think these are the places where babies are being abandoned and does not necessarily reach the ears of the media, and it's far for these mommies to walk to a hospital or a clinic, and if they don't have the support of the father of the baby or their own families, and we don't know what's going on in their minds and what the emotional state is like, if there's no option for them, what are they going to do?
That is so true. Definitely. And how would anybody get a hold of you in case they'd either like to start this baby saver, of course, get more information about this, and of course, support you as far as that amendment bill is concerned?
Yes, so we can email me at info@doorofhope.co.za, or a direct message on either the Door of Hope Facebook page or on the Baby Savers Facebook page, which is just
Thank
Baby
you so
Savers
much for
SA.
joining us.
Thank
you so much
the
for joining us.
opportunity.
Our prayers are with you. All the blessings for, of course, going out there and doing something as pertinent as this. I don't think it's one of the easiest things to be able to do. So we want to commend you from the Salam Media team for all the work that you're doing out there as far as this is concerned. And of course, our support as far as government is concerned, hoping that they can, of course, make it easier so that, as we said, these children can get a second chance at life. Thank you so much for joining us. It's been an honor chatting to you, and all the best going forward.
Nafeesa. Thank you so much. Keep well. Thank you.
You too. Take care. Goodbye. Bye. Nadene Grabham talking to us about, of course, the baby saver boxes and giving these abandoned children very much a second chance at life. And that's what we're looking at. So we're going to go for a quick break. Stay with us. We'll be back with you in a moment.